What's up, film fighters and film fights fans? Justin here for FilmFights TV. This film fight, it was all about Murphy's Law, which means your character was trying to do something, but the world kept getting in their way. Let's do this! It's FilmFights TV.
FilmFights TV. We set the rules, you make the films, you decide the winner.
So before I get into all the great heavyweights we had, I want to thank you guys for coming out to FilmFights Con 2K12. It was super awesome. We had such a great group of people. It was really a great time, and I'm looking forward to next year, which is going to be FilmFights' 10-year anniversary. Can you believe it's been a decade of film fights? It's going to be totally crazy. We're having a whole discussion thread about it in the forum, so make sure to check out the link in the description to find out more info on the details of that. Our first heavyweight was from Few Coins Only Production, and the film was called Filmmakers Torment. First off, here's the stuff I liked. I thought it was a funny idea. Really, like, what can go more wrong than making a film? So it was a good subject matter to pick. I like that you've got a couple different locations. You could have more, but at least you win around. Like, that's good to see. Here's some stuff you could work on. First of all, I think the subtitles, that orange color kind of gets lost in the mix. Typically subtitles are a white color or a yellowish kind of color because it stands out well against the background. So I really suggest changing your subtitles colors to something that's a little more viewable. Also, I think you really could have done a lot more with this idea. The only thing that really goes bad is the blue screen of death at the very end. He should have been waiting for his friend to show up, and then his friend didn't show up for the film, and then he was trying to record it, and then his battery died, and his microphone died. And finally, after all that work, then the computer crashes. And you can fit those in pretty quickly too if you get rid of some of the dialogue at the beginning. Then you've got a good series of events where everything bad is happening. I think that would be more interesting than just the simple conversation at the beginning and then the blue screen of death. That would be a good big finishing struggle thing instead of really the only bad thing that happens the whole time. Thanks for your entry, guys. I always love films with subtitles from foreign film fighters. It always seems really cool to me. Also, we're thinking about FilmFights Con in Europe, so maybe you guys have a suggestion of where we should go. We're thinking maybe somewhere in the Czech Republic, Amsterdam, or Denmark. We're not really sure, but if you foreign film fighters have a place you really want to have it, or a good central location, or even just a place for me to crash if I want to travel to Europe sometime, all very important things. So check out the forums for more information on that. Our second heavyweight was called Do You Mind by Redman16 Productions. It's Redman16 Productions' first submission to Film Fights, and it's a heavyweight, and it's awesome. Thank you guys for submitting, and welcome to Film Fights. Okay, first off, here's the stuff I liked. The opening shot was awesome. I think it was maybe a combination of you in the back of your car with some smooth cam stabilization on there, but it looked really cool. That's a big thing that I'm always very much a fan of, is when your opening shot is the most visually interesting, the coolest shot, because that opening shot is the one you know for sure everyone's gonna see. You can't trust someone's gonna make it to the end of your video, so make the beginning as awesome as you can, and you guys did a great job with that beautiful music and that nice long tracking shot. It really caught my attention. The colors were beautiful, very green, very vibrant. Everything about that shot was really well put together, so kudos on that. Also love the idea. This is like a totally relatable, especially guy thing, but of course for girls. When you gotta go to the bathroom and you're in a public place and you're desperately looking for a McDonald's or a dark corner somewhere. I remember one time I was on a bus. I was going completely nuts because I had to take a piss so bad, and I forced everyone to stop the bus and get off so I could take a leak in the corner. And it was like, finally, when I did it, I felt so much better, but the torment was just awful. So I love this idea, and not only was it a good idea, but you guys took it to a lot of different places. The random blowjob scene, totally bizarre, and just a really silly little twist. So great shots, great locations, great music, great idea. Here's some stuff I think you guys could have worked on. One thing I was waiting for is a gag at the very end, and that's what I think this was missing. You had this beautiful wide shot. It's really far away, and so we're kind of detached from our subject, which is maybe a little bit strange since we've been following him the whole time, and I feel like it could have been more of a close moment where you really see him like, oh, the relief of finally going to the bathroom. But I felt like an asteroid was gonna hit him, or something, like he was gonna get hit by a charging sheep. I don't know. Something right as he was about to accomplish his goal. Awesome job, guys. Thanks so much for submitting to Film Fights. welcome and congratulations on the heavyweight. Our third heavyweight is from Multimedia Moguls, another first-time submitter and first-time heavyweight. Here's what I like. It's a funny concept and you guys did a decent job of executing it. I like the voiceover element and going over the whole thing as it's kind of leading the story along. I think that's a cool way of framing it all up. Your actor did a good job. He was funny and he really seemed to play the part well. And that's always something, you know, you gotta sell those silly moments for it really to work. I like the timing of the oven gag as well. It was funny and cool, and she's like, you probably don't even know how to use it, and he's like, it's an electric. I think that's a good gag, and you pulled it off well. Now here's some stuff you guys could have worked on. I thought the opening shot could have used a little bit of work. It wasn't as interesting as perhaps if the note was a little bit farther down and we could actually see his face looking sad and confused as he's reading this letter, as opposed to just having it really blocking his whole face and you're just seeing the back of a notepad, which isn't that interesting. I also think the reveals could have been done a little bit better. While you have this very frantic moving around the house, kind of panicked, it almost seemed like it could have been one shot. I really wish that you would have maybe done more shots on a tripod and it could have been more of him frantic and the camera a little more stationary, because a lot of the reveals that you guys were trying to pull off didn't work as well as it could have. Perhaps in the opening shot, you know, it's him and it's talking about the dog being missing, and you pull out and it's just kind of an empty room. We can't really tell the dog is gone. It could have been a good excuse for you to have an insert shot of an empty doghouse or something that really sold that joke. Same thing with the pills in the bathroom. You have this zoom out shot that I don't think really worked. And it just becomes the chaos of it becomes more distracting than it becomes good. I would have rather seen a little more stable camera work with your actor really freaking out so we could appreciate those little moments. It also would have been really cool if you guys put the beginning of the letter VO during the start of the FilmFights logo. That would have been a really neat element. I always love when people start their film in the middle of that FilmFights bumper, because it's a cool way of leading people into the story, getting them hooked right away, which is so important with especially online video. Thanks for the entry, guys. Thanks for submitting. I think we had like an all foreign European heavyweight group, and that's pretty cool. I think it must be a sign that FilmFights Con Europe is a good idea. All right, the moment of truth. Which heavyweight was my personal favorite? Remember, on FilmFights, it's not me who picks the winners, guys. It's you. So if you haven't voted for these films, go over to filmfights.com, enter in your email address, and vote for your favorite film, because that is how the winners are decided, and it's super important, super crucial you guys do that. But for the interests of FilmFights TV, I will pick my favorite, and I've got to give it to Redman 16 Productions. Great concept, great location, great opening shot, the audio was great, the color was great, and you just had a good progression of events as opposed to just one or two, and I thought everything came together very well. So awesome job, guys, especially for first timers to FilmFights. Really looking forward to seeing what stuff all of you guys, all you heavyweights, send in the future, because all the films had a lot of potential and were great. What was your favorite film, guys? Comment down below and let me know if I was totally wrong, totally crazy, or if I got it right. Also, if you want to submit to FilmFights, it's easy. Just check out our Future Fights page to see all the stuff that's coming up next. There's always a whole bunch of great fights that you guys can be involved with. And of course, if you make heavyweight, we'll see you on FilmFights TV. Also want to give a shout out to all the other awesome groups that submitted in our middleweight and lightweight categories. Big ups to J2 Productions, Prestige Films, Sophisticated Ape Incorporated, Final Cut Productions, Golden Box Films, Film Freaks 101, Low Budget Productions, and Marvelous M Productions. Great to see all of your films, and hopefully you guys will make heavyweight next time. Remember, FilmFights is all about learning, getting better, so hopefully you get some good reviews, some good takeaways to take your film to the next level in our next fight. Also, big ups to Alex Williams for cutting this together. Make sure to check out Alex's YouTube channel. He just finished funding for a Kickstarter project for an awesome film he's doing. More info on that in the description below. Congratulations, Alex. This guy rocks. I'll see you next time on FilmFights TV.